Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be going through all the update stuff that they've been announcing for Limbus Company. I love Limbus Company and I love Project Moon and everything that they're doing. They literally unload everything to us. There's so many things changing, so many things coming, different dates. So I kind of just took everything from like the last week, put it all together, and we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and dig in. So you'll notice some of the things are different sizes here. That's just because we have so many different notices, and the notices themselves are sometimes posted in different resolutions. So if they're a little bit weirdly sized, I do apologize. But basically, Lux Creation is going to be getting changed. A lot of people are not excited for this because the daily rewards are getting taken away, and daily limits are essentially being removed. Now, I personally, after having done Lux Creation for the last couple of days after it's been released, I find it to kind of be a pain in the ass. Candidly, I find it to be something that takes up a lot of time, very similar to Mirror Dungeon. And compared to other games, you're actually like fighting bosses, and it's relatively, time consuming. You have cutscenes in between, you have decisions you have to make, dice you have to roll basically, and you can get through it, but it does take a decent amount of time. So I am happy that it isn't kind of going to be a forced like daily, you have to do 3 of them, because it did take up a lot of time. And I do also like the fact that they're adding a skip feature. Now, if we talk about this for a second, we need to recognize that they did change the consumption from enkephalin to enkephalin modules. So now the stages 1, 2, 3, no matter what stage you do for Lux Creation, is going to take 2 enkephalin modules, which is going to be 20 enkephalin, right? I believe it's 20, when you convert it, okay? Now, this is important to consider because there is a skip battle feature coming for this. So after clearing a stage and experience Lux Creation, you skip battle will automatically clear the selected Lux Creation once, but it costs twice as much enkephalin as regular stage entry, but it yields 50% additional rewards. So it's going to take 3 enkephalin modules, which is, I think, 4 enkephalin modules. Yeah, 4 enkephalin modules, which I think is fine. I'm not too upset about this. I think this is a good way to address like skipping, like skip content. But we'll kind of have to see how this goes. I know the community is a little like, oh, we don't like this, but it's just another way of implementing like skip tickets from other games. And I think this is probably I would say this is the most controversial feature that Project Moon has implemented, but I like it. I'm happy. For me, being able to skip the amount of time that Experience Lux Creation took is really good. And it does point out Experience Lux Creation. I don't know if it mentioned that Thread Lux Creation, it will be to all Lux Creation. They just use Experience Lux Creation as a kind of example here. These changes, let's go back and take a look at when these changes. So these are going to be April 6th. So these are the April 6th changes for the skip feature. For the change to the enkephalin cost, that's going to be March 23rd. So again, when we're talking about dates, there's a lot of things going on. We're like, oh, I thought this was coming out. It's just it's just how it's going. What's also coming out on March 23rd is a new login campaign. So it's going to be the new higher attendance reward. This is going to be based on the amount of enkephalin that you spend. An important note here, this goes from the 23rd to the 6th. However, part 2 of the rewards are only accessible starting April 1st. So any enkephalin within this window is going to count towards part 1 and part 2, but you cannot access part 2 rewards until April 1st. The part 1 final rewards is going to be special decorative banner number 1 and a Deca extraction ticket. Part 2 final rewards, special decorative banner number 2 and 3, as well as a 3-star guaranteed deck extraction ticket. So I imagine we're going to start seeing, visual decorations that we're going to be able to implement for different character windows. One of the bigger announcements is the implementation of the overclock feature. Now, this is going to be on April 6th, not on the 23rd or the 1st. So this is pretty interesting. I'm very excited for it. It essentially enables you at 1.5 cost to enable your ego's corrosion form. So ego overclock stable, as it'll be called, at 1.5 cost with enough ego resources in your possession, will be able to discern between friend and foe, which is going to be great. There is an ego overclock unstable where it will attack indiscriminately. So you do want to keep that in mind. It is also possible to overclock an ego skill using the ego resource cost, but this results in an unstable. So that's what unstable is going to be. I'm excited for this just because I feel like I don't utilize the corrosion variants very often. However, what I am noticing is as I'm doing more difficult content and my characters are getting lower HP or losing sanity, I do notice corrosion actually triggering now that I have egos that actually have corrosion, right? Because I'm a decent way into the battle pass. So it is something I'm noticing happening here. And I know a lot of the corrosion abilities can be really powerful and battle changing. So it'll be really interesting to see how we classify and label some of the egos after this, because some of the egos, their corrosion form is actually AoE as well, so it does do a little bit different things. Planned adjustment of ego overclock will be April 6th. I was a little confused on this. I asked my Discord, I didn't get a response on it. When using an ego skill, the ego's resistance values completely override the current runs, regardless of if they are more advantageous. Currently, right now, when using an ego skill, only the better resistance values are taken. I'm not sure what they mean by ego resistances. I'm not 100% sure if this is like resistance like blunt, slashing, and pierce, or if this is specifically like you're using a pride ego, and so you're going to be more susceptible to a specific type of sin. I'm not 100% on this. I'm not quite sure what that means. If you do know, put it in the comments and I will pin that. We also have some abnormality coming for the new event that will be coming. And of course, we have the new Faust that's going to be coming out, as well as I believe it's the 2-star Ishmael, which will be the nail and hammer type of Ishmael. But the new Faust is going to be 3-star. I'm pretty excited for her just because Faust egos are extremely powerful. So any excuse to have a more powerful Faust in my party is going to be a good thing. So I'm planning on pulling for her. I hope I get her. I am living that free-to-play lifestyle, and it has been quite rewarding in this game so far. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.